I will need to reiterate and emphasize the questions, because I realized from those that had their exams at the associate stage, I mean, part of us that had the exams there, okay, yeah, I got back-end info about the exams, all right, how it is, the technicality involved. And so I think I asked, yes, I've spoken with, yes, those that, not all of them. All right, and then I came to this point too, and I feel I should emphasize this, that now this, what the exact questions and question items that we are looking at in class, like you can see question 1 right now, you may not see this in the same way in your exam. But what I would encourage us to do is, number 1, let me first say that the exam, everything is within the curriculum provided. So if you allow the curriculum to guide you and guide what you take in, it will be of help. All right. And we know, and of course, for the advanced, it covers error handling, regular expression, orchestrator, RE framework, and selectors like that. Okay. So if you allow that to guide you, okay, you will not be studying what is not necessary. All right. There are a lot of things to learn. That's the truth. Too many things to learn. Too many things. So you just have to restrict yourselves to what is needful to pass your exams. When you are done with passing your exams, of course, you still have a lot of things you can explore, and you can explore, much after that. So whatever we are doing in class, don't expect that it is going to be the same way that it will be presented in class. Of course, UiPath will not also present it the same, because they have access to all these things. They too, it's a tech company like that cannot sit relaxed and then repeat questions like some of our universities will do, repeating questions all over. So they will also want to make some things difficult, tweak, even if it's going to be the same thing, come from another angle and all of that. So let's just bear that in mind. All right. So this is simply to debate, to ask to to have something to see what obtains with what we have done. All right. So I believe I've started recording. I think I have. I think I need to also mention this. Yeah, we will be having at some point the person of Miss Gales. I want to believe I pronounced that perfectly. Okay. All right. She's, of course, she will be complementing the entire effort. Okay. So you know that what we are doing here, it's like we are in a cycle. All right. So she will be complementing the entire thing at the orientation stage. All right. So she will. She at will, she may come in. You have to see how things are going, to interact with us, but then the active interaction and full access is going to be at the orientation, where we are going to really, where she will be meeting those at that stage to get them ready for work. This is the instructional aspect. She will be there to get to ingrain and make us fit for the system that we want to work for. We are not working for a Nigerian system in which you can just do anything or expect that you can buy your way out of things. So all of those things, those are going to be our efforts. All right, I'm
I
sure.
didn't get the name, sir.
Okay, the name. Yes, I use Ty to call it now. Yeah, I will text. I will use. Yes, now,
Is
but I.
she is not Nigerian?
No, 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 she's not.
Yeah.
No, no, she's not. Yeah,
Hope we not
Hello,
have.
sir.
Yeah. I believe we won't have
yes.
challenge hearing that.
No, no, no. Do you have challenge? Do you have any challenge listening to Mr. Gabriel?
Not not so much because maybe because it's still part Nigerian. So
Okay, there's still little. There's still 10% Nigeria. Okay, really. Okay,
but
yeah. I don't think.
is she is she a complete foreigner or because the
Like
name
she,
actually sounds English.
yeah, she's an American, but then it's that's not even that's not the cruise. The main thing we have we have some Americans that their intonation accent it's so clear. It's clearer than I don't some other Americans. Do you
Oh.
get? Have you seen such before?
Eh? I'm not sure.
Really? I
I
don't
don't
know.
think I've
Yeah.
had.
No, there are a lot. There are we have people like that. All right, we have people like that. All right. Okay, so it's just like Ryan Bonke, for instance. Let's take him as an example. When he talks, you can hear him. We have a lot. We have some. We go for conferences and then you hear some speak.
Yeah.
Some you would not be able to really pick. You have to put your heads on ground very well. Uh, those are people that talk like me. You understand what I'm talking about? Look at this guy. Don't laugh out your tongue. Go. Okay then. All right. All right. And then we have some that they just have their accents are they are clear. They are clear. I don't know. So I'm going to type a name here. All right. So you should expect. Just pick the simple one. Of course, Gales, that's simple enough. Yeah.
Is she? When is she coming in? Is it today? Oh, we're not sure.
Well, I'm not sure. It can be any time. Anytime she can breeze in and breeze out.
Okay.
Yes, yes. Yeah. When I notice her, I may want to. I don't know if she would want to with the speak with us, interact with us. Um, but whatever it is, if she wants to, then uh, she will come in, talk, and then she'll be coming in and out. Yeah. Just to prepare your mind anyway. All right, so that's her name, Girls, Vate Girls. I suppose it's either the Y or the V will be silent. All right, one of the two will be silent. Okay. All right, then I think I've started sharing. It's about Theophilus. How are you? You are welcome to class. All right, so now we have this. Um, the first question: what is the definition for the following log term? All right, so I remember. I think Julius was saying some things around this. So beyond this coinage, you can look at other things around trees. The definition for trace. So which one are we going to go for? Okay, is that a silence or a network issue?
Go for B.
Yes, Sylvester, what did you say? Okay, you said you go for B. Did I hear him well? I'm not sure I heard you very well. Well, I think I heard go and B, something like that.
I'll go for B.
Okay, B. All right. Okay, Sylvester. B. Okay. Okay, that I think Teofilo is also saying B. Okay.
I said D was the last option.
Okay, D. Oh, okay, D. All right. That information useful while developing debugging, however, not useful or needed in production. Do we have any objection to that? That is it. It's D. Yeah, we get information while we are debugging. We could get the trace will be useful in as when we put it at trace. It will be useful in giving us information on what we are debugging. You have a similar question. All right. We have two. What is the definition of the following log term? Fatal. I didn't say fatal. I said fatal. You can see that I'm close to. John, you don't believe me. It's okay. Don't worry. All right then. So what's the definition of the following log term? Fatal. Okay, I'm not sure this is all. An error occurred. I think I still have another option here. All right.
I will also go for the last option for D.
Okay. D. Yeah, that's from Theophilos reporting from, I don't know, maybe Lagos. Okay, that the robot cannot. That's for fatal. That the robot cannot or should not recover from this error. Something has gone critically wrong. I think that's actually it's an emphasis on what fatal is. Something has gone critically wrong and the process needs to be stopped. Okay. All right. Any objection? If you are raising your hands, I can't. Now with this, I'm not sure. I can't see the icon that will help me.
Please, I will go for D also.
Okay, Sylvester too. All right. All right. Okay. All right. Yeah, and that's it. Yeah. We have question 3. Check out the introduction to login course. Oh, sorry. What type of what type of logs are generated when a process is executed? I think the entire thing is already, but then you can look at it. What type of logs are generated when a process robot execution logs? All right. Yes. And question 4. Question 4. What are the 4 types of logs in UiPath? We have this orchestrator diagnostic logs. Then we have setup logs, robot logs, studio logs. We have another option, orchestrator diagnostic logs, general logs, verbose logs, studio logs. Let me see if there are other. Okay, we still have another set, which is general logs, verbose logs, setup logs, robot logs. We have another set here, verbose logs, setup logs, ancillary logs, tertiary logs. Some things are obviously fishing in these things. So is there anything like verbose logs?
Yes, sir.
Is there anything like studio logs?
Yes, the studio log. I think that the first option.
Okay, is there anything like verbose logs?
That's the one I don't know. But I guess there is. It's okay.
Well, I don't know, but we were taught verbose log, the info, those ones. But I don't know whether it's applicable here.
Because if you have verbose logs, then it should apply to all the other levels. The one, the critical, the fatal, the info, and the rest. Yeah, that's my point of view. All right. Yes. Okay. So yeah, Theophilus has said the first one. All right. Still awaiting other reviews, other inputs.
Yeah, I'll go for the second one.
The second one is orchestrator diagnostic logs, general logs, verbose logs, studio logs. And the other one, general verbose setup robots. And then the fourth one. Still awaiting just one or two more persons. So since we have had 2 parts now, so
I'll go for B. I'll go for B.
yeah.
I'll go for B.
Okay,
Orchestrator
B.
diagnosis log, general log, verbose log, then studio logs. Yeah.
Okay, that's Sylvester and John aware. Yeah. Okay, who else? Let me check. Who else is in attendance? Okay, Abdullah, it's been, I should be telling you Happy New Year. Abdullah Abubakar.
Yes,
Yeah, good evening. It's been a while. Babalola, you are welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, well done.
sir.
Okay, so back to, I just wanted to see what's going on. All right. So, okay. Do we have orchestrator diagnostic logs? Yes. Do you have setup logs at the point of setup? Do we have robot logs? I think we said that before.
Yes, there's robot logs.
Well, we can't see robot logs here in the option B. Do we have studio logs? I think yes, too. So the point of contention is now with what now? I guess setup or so, and general, which we have. Okay, verbose too. Okay, so if so that we will not waste time on this. Right, the 4 types of log that exist, they actually exist in the first option. The orchestrator, diagnostic logs, setup logs, robot logs, which already mentioned, and studio logs. I think I hope it's not an assumption. I think Mr. Julius mentioned this orchestrator diagnostics logs, and I know that at the point of setting up, we also have logs, setup logs. Question 5: which of the following events generates log entries by default when executing a process in run mode? You have the 4 options here. The execution starts, the invoking a workflow file.
So I think the execution starts because anytime you run
That's
a process.
Yes, it is execution start. It is, yeah. Now, question 6: in RE framework, what happens if an error occurs in the init state? We still remember init state.
Let's see the last option. It moves directly to end process.
Init state, when it's not able to read settings, it's not able to initiate applications, so it moves directly to end process. All right, that's it. We have another question 7. Maybe I should be separating this. It's lumped together. Okay, I'll reframe.
Maybe you should increase the font to like 100, sir.
Okay. I've even had a 10. This is 110.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. What happens if an error is thrown during the process transaction state, the third state? What happens if an error is thrown during the process transaction state? The project moves immediately to the end process state. The project moves to the init state. Now, okay, there we go. The process moves back to the get transaction state to retry. The transaction is retried once before moving to end process.
Thank you.
That is one of what Mr. Julius said last week. He said that it goes to init state, then from there it retries. But if it fails, it
I
goes
think because you were the one that answered the question.
yes, sir.
So, okay, I think he asked, he gave you, how do I call it now? Like, they posed a question around that. Okay, he wanted to know, to see, if we grabbed what he was saying. Okay, yes, because now from process state we have from process state. Okay, yeah, from the process state. So we have two possible options. That if depending on what happens, if it's a technical problem like system exception, if there is system exception, or if there is business exception. If it's, I want to pull this out now. Let me go to the node. Okay, so let me bring this out. All right, so now from process number one, it doesn't go to, I think he said, I think he coined the question around why is it that we don't have process transaction, leading to end process state. All right, I think that was the question. Now from the process state, we have if there is system exception, okay, it could go to get transaction data state and initialization state, and repick the data and items and begin and read, feed it back into get transactions data. If it's business, of course, it goes to. So the question, it's about this third. Now this third. Yeah.
That's if, okay, so the assumption is that it's like system error.
So the question, where is the question now? Yes. What happens if an error is thrown during the process transaction state?
Okay.
But the first option is not even there. The project moves to the init state. The project moves back to the get transaction. At what state does it move to get transaction state? To retry. That's when
there is business.
Business error.
That's when there is business. Yeah. Then the transaction is retried once before moving to end process. Now they save this one and that one there. So the real thing is the project moves to the init state. Where is this thing is hiding? Let me bring it out. Now wait for ready, a property. It's one of the properties that we have in UiPath Studio for some activities. Now, before performing the actions, wait for the target to become ready. The following options are available: non-interactive, complete. Okay, non-interactive, complete. Now, which waits for the target app to indicate readiness, although some assets may still be loading? Interactive. Okay. I think that's the voice of Joe. Is that Joe?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You came late today. You gave it to Amarachi.
This is the network, sir.
Okay.
This will not allow me to log in.
Sorry. I hope it's not the same person that don't mind me. It's just I'm just kidding. Because it was Amarachi that said that persons they were pursuing our system, our laptop. Okay. All right. So that is interactive, yeah. What's the next one now? Dash has a pause before the activity in milliseconds.
Also, for the other ones,
Which one?
the question we just did.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you can check what will none do and what will complete. Okay, I think complete is logical. It just waits till
everything is loaded.
everything
And none does not need. It doesn't just move on.
Okay,
Doesn't
whether
wait
it's ready or not.
whether it's ready or not, it moves. So interactive is like the partial state state. So just wait for once it's once it sees that some assets are already loading, they have loaded. Yeah. This
delay
one.
Before, sir.
Okay, so someone said delay before.
Delay before.
Oh, okay, delay before. It has a pause before the activity, so they have. Okay, anyway. All right, in milliseconds. Then 10. We have 10. 10 is what is the best practice to deal with interacting with your element in a web page that has an attribute named loaded with a value of true when the element is loaded. What is the best practice to deal with interacting with your element in a web page that has an attribute named loaded, the value of true when the element is loaded? Let me reveal everything. I will have to reduce this so that I can see question and the options at the same time. Or better still, let me jack this down. Wow.
Is this, sir?
This, wait, use the wait.
Use the wait attribute activity to wait until the value of loaded is set to true. Okay, yes, D. 11. What happens when the main default button is pressed? For the workflow analyzer design, what happens when the main default button is pressed for the workflow analyzer in the design review? You have these options. Check file for validation errors and workflow analyzer violations. Check the file only for validation errors. Check project only for validation errors. Check only the main XAML file for validation errors. the workflow analyzer does it. You see it validates projects. It could be a project or file. So here, check file only for validation errors. This only, this cannot be modified, and it's not project only. It cannot be project only.
I think it's this, sir.
It is not file only. And then check only the main XAML file for validation errors. So we have two. We have this and this. A and D, the first and last options left.
I think it's this, sir.
Okay, so
Sir,
more reviews.
is it something we can categorize to know exactly what they are saying?
Okay, let's try something. The two. I'm so sure nobody can say that my system is slow. Huh?
I said no.
Sir, it's too fast.
At all.
No, don't bother to put it's too fast, but you cannot say it is too slow. When it is too fast, then it doesn't belong to this one. But okay, so let's just our able you should just no worry, just push
Maybe a message box.
a message box. Okay, I'm pushing an integer into it. I wanted it to assign. I think we will assign. Okay, let's just put. Okay. This is RPA class. Just leave it that way. All right, so we know that this is not in string anyway. Okay, so now we have the analyze file here. Oh, it has reviewed it. Okay. Now, when you press down the arrow, the drop down arrow, I don't know, it's so tiny, small, but I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, very small, very tiny. Check 5 for validation errors and workflow analyzer violations. That's option here. That's what the question is talking about. So yes, we have the options of analyzing projects, validating file, validating project, workflow analyzer settings. So if we pick which one? Let's say analyze project. And this now project, it has the option of that is the scope. It has the option of going through the project, the current file, or the main example file itself. So if we pick project, current file, of course we don't have, it's just a simple okay, the main file, compiler errors, encounter processing expression. This is RPA class, end of expression expected. Let's just check to see what. Zoom. Yes. Okay, workflow analyzer. If I click on this, I know it should take me. These are codes for the rules being considered. I don't know if you noticed when I pick in project, the list here, changes. Of course, all is all encompassing, and then these are subsets within all. So this is for project. What action are we looking at? Only for errors. So let's see if what is going to come up with. So all right, so check project.json. Exists main workflow, exists package restrictions, required packages, warning, variables naming convention. All right, make sure all the variables follow the naming convention. Okay. What happened to variable length? Variable name length should not be above course, is 0 character, and unused dependencies. Remove unused package in order to improve. So that's at the realm of one. I think that should be all. Any info? Okay, we still have info on that project. So it goes on like that. This is something we can explore, check, and check. It offers recommendations on at some points on what should be put in place. Let me look at this. The open browser activity provides a convenient way to open a browser tab and all of that. All those, as URLs are volatile and can change along with the application evolution. This rule lists the URLs defined in the open browser instances within the current project and help on tracking places where the URLs are hard coded. All right, where is it? To improve the workflow maintainability and avoid its changes when the URL changes, it's recommended to use variables or arguments to pass in URL values. That recommendation. That's at info level for projects. All right, so but that is not even the main thing, the question that if we press this down, what are we going to see? What happens when the main default button is pressed for the workflow analyzer in the design? Okay, yeah.
Yes, I think the question is asking, usually when we run a workflow, it will first validate it. So without selecting the type of validation you want to do, like we just did now. So let's just say by running it, what does it do?
Is it saying by running it?
Yeah, by default.
Let's others
like without choosing anything.
Yes. Okay, let's look at it. Is that what it's saying? No, it's open though. This is an open. It's an open issue, question, or whatever. How do you see this? So that when we press it, it's going to check for validation errors and workflow analyzer for violations.
And that should be it.
Yeah.
When the main default button.
I agree, no less. Where is it now? Yes. So this is the default button. So all right, so it's simply all right, so this is the default. This is what the default button does. It checks for validation errors and workflow analyzer validations. So, yes, you are correct, Joe. Okay, yeah. The next, it's here. Now, the RE framework is built as a state machine. Okay, what type of process is the RE framework?
Hello, sir. Please, what we have to do,
Mr. T, I didn't get that.
He said, what's the answer to the question?
Okay. Okay, we have all this.
I think he was referring to the previous one, sir.
Okay. Yes, it's this one. The one that Joe. Check 5 for validation errors and workflow analyzer violations. Yes. That's yes. So I thought I agreed with Joe. Okay. 12. Okay.
I think it's B, sir.
Okay. Someone said B. Someone has said B. The RE framework is built as a state machine. Mr. Babalola, Abubakar, Abdullah Abubakar, are you still there?
Yes, sir. Sir, I'm not too sure, but I also think it's B.
Okay. The RE framework is built as a state machine. We agree with that. Do you agree with that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. What type of process is the RE framework? What type of process? And in the option, we have, let's say we have the dispatcher and performer. We have dispatcher and we have performer. Already, I think we know the dispatcher. Let me permit to use the word no. We have worked around that. Been demonstrated last week. What dispatcher does, what performer does. So now, and in view of our framework, the initialization state get transaction data state, process data state. That's the question. That how does the dispatcher performer processes, or rather do the dispatcher performer as dual processes, do they have a place in our framework? How do we, that's the question.
I think getting transaction data, that's
it does.
a
Okay.
performance action.
Getting transaction data. Okay, I'm listening.
Yes, sir. That's a performer action. Then I don't know, does it populate like a queue or something? So we can
Now
consider
to get transaction data, to get transaction data, it pulls the data from initialization.
Okay, so it's
yes.
visa.
Yes, it's B. And then in process like the name suggests, it does the processing, and that's what performer does. It performs the it carries out process based on what dispatcher has pushed into the queue of the orchestrator, as the case may be. So, and of course, the end process is simply it's just mistakes to help to end the entire thing. So the type of process in the RE framework is dispatcher and performer. Yeah. Okay, Theophilus. Huh? I can hardly hear you, but I think I had default or I had question. I'm not sure. Ah, shit. Okay, did you say recent question? Different types of different types of processes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Different types of processes. I'm looking at the perspective processes. Essentially, what RD framework does, or what yes, a complex template like that. What it's all about is to process data. Yes, good. That's we understand that, but it cannot just process data. It has to go through a state that will feed data into. Now, the process that we have that I'm conversant with, if you all the things we do at whatever level, it's only the complexity that may be different. It's we feed data into we feed data in and we process it, and of course we provide based on what is being processed, there is going to be an output. Okay, so everything is coined around feeding data in, processing it, presenting an output. The place of init state is to help, of course, to read instead of you putting queuing activities and having a very complex workflow. Just imagine you are having like 50 assigned activities. This one is assigned to this variable. This one is assigned to this variable. Then this variable is attached to this value. Instead of having 50, all the data you queue it into your config file, so that your init state reads it. All the applications that needs to be initiated to be worked on that you'll be using, it opens it, and then from there you get your data from the init state, you fetch it in, and then it gets processed. So about process, the processes, they are basically they are two. If you put it that way, the dispatcher and the performer processes.
Right, thank you.
Question 13. Question 13. In orchestrator for credential assets. Okay, this also, I think Mr. Julius mentioned it. Yeah, in orchestrator for credential assets, once an asset is created, what are you unable to edit as it pertains to the asset settings?
Asset type.
Okay, straight to the point. Asset type. All right. I think we have how many types of asset types do we have? Four. Okay. I cannot recall all of them. Can you help me out?
Credential,
Text,
string, integer.
All right, thank you. Thank you for reminding me.
Credential.
Okay, great. All right, that's it. Okay, we have 14 here. So let me just check to see if I have visitors in my small parlor. Yeah, people. Okay, all right. I think we are still good. Okay. Yeah, then question 14. Yeah, there is a string list variable called numbers that has been instantiated with 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and invoke method activity has the following settings: method name, result put to empty, target object numbers, target type null, parameters that's direction in as we have it on screen, and it's taking the value 4 in. It's going to add the value 4. So what is the outcome of the invoke method activity? What is the outcome of the invoke method activity?
We're not getting the question, sir. That is me. I've not gotten the question yet. Really.
There is a string list variable. It's actually coined around list. Okay. Yes, there is a string list variable called numbers that has been instantiated with 1, 2, and you can see that it's string. The 1, 2, it's actually string, and 3. Of course, list could help us to add, unlike array. You can add to existing data sets that we have. So now an invoke method activity has the following settings: the method has had result, it has it as empty, target object numbers, target type as null, and then the parameter is taking, the direction is in, and the type, what is it bringing in, is 4. The value is 4, and the what is bringing in is a string, and is bringing it in. The direction is in. So it's saying that what are we going to add to this? To 1, 2. How are we going to add it? Not what. How are we going to add to this existing data set 1, 2, 3, and we are bringing in another string. So what is the outcome of the invoke method activity? So that's the question. We have numbers, we contain, the variable is called, this is called number, so that's why we have this here, the target object. Okay, so now numbers will contain 1, 2, 3. That's after we have applied invoke method activity using this. It's still saying that this option is saying that it will still be 1, 2, 3. The second option is saying that it will be 4, 1, 2, 3. The third option is saying it will be 1, 2, 3, 4. And the last option is saying that the invoke method activity will throw an error.
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, it's going to add to what exists, what is in existence already in the data set that is in existence. Since it's the same, of course, we don't expect any issue to come up. It's the same string as it, like what we have, like the other data sets that exist.
But sir, I thought that what's the name? List variable can take any type of any kind of variable into it, even with different kind of variables. Like maybe if it's string and also integer, can take both.
No,
That
that's
is generic value.
Okay.
Yeah, that's generic value.
And I think dictionary tools.
Dictionary uses key and value. So it's like assigns a value to a key.
Okay, so we have question 15. yeah, in the instance methods of invoke method, what should be the target type? What should the target type be set to? We have option, the type of the target object. We have int32 string. We have null. In the instance methods of invoke method, can Mr. Babalola demonstrate this, or Mr. I don't know who has what's it called, laptop, shareable screen? Or let me simply just let me refer us to I can't recall the chapter now. Let me refer us to the material with us. We'll see the instance we see the methods that actually can be used, the static, and then the other one, and then we can, of course, that will help us to see what we should do in this case. Let me go back to the former question. Let's see if there is anything we can pick from here. Okay, the target object, target type, this one is already set to null. Now I'm looking at okay, it's self-revealing already, in that it's already showing the answer, because the target type will actually be set to null. All right, 16. What should be input into the value field for target objects, not type this time around, when filling in the
Sorry, sir, I didn't get the answer to that number 15.
Null. We have a similar, but not still around the same concept even in 16. I think 14, 15, 16 is they are related. What should be input into the value field for target object when filling in the invoke method using the static method? Any clue?
I think it's string, sir.
I'll say C.
Oh, C.
No, C is not string. String is B. B is string.
Not string, sir.
Not.
I didn't say string. I said C.
You said B. Okay. Okay, I'm waiting our views.
I think it's
I didn't get that.
I said C.
Okay, C. Okay, so somebody said B. Another person said C. Okay.
Yeah, it was me, sir.
All right. Okay, so we have.
That's C2. See any variable expression that fulfills the purpose.
Okay, so and in this case, it's not about it's not about majority. It's not about having structure. Okay. So okay, what we need to look at, yes, in the invoke activity, the target object, and in the invoke method, look at the target object, and then of course the method being static. So the target object will be set to nothing. We still have another similar. Okay, have a lot of. This one should have which of the following is false about when we should use the invoke method. When we have a class library, dynamic library link in VBNet,
What was the answer to the previous one?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Now, which of the following is false about when we should use the invoke method? When we have a class library in /DLL in VB.NET or C#, I want to call that method. Okay, I may not be able to read everything. Let me conserve my bitumen. All right, the second option, we have it, the third option, the fourth option.
I'll go
Hello,
for
sir.
it.
Hello,
Yes,
sir.
I'm here.
Okay, I will go for B. When we want to use a method which does not generate an output.
For example, reverse, and therefore cannot be used in an assigned activity. Okay, that's Mr. Babs for you. I had another, I think Mr. Dedigba. Okay. I heard another voice. Anyway, it may not be him.
I think it's B2, sir.
B. Okay, I heard you. No objection. Is Amarachi still here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Fatai. Yes, I saw you the other time. Senior developer. Okay, so we've got 2B. So let's look at it again. Which of the following is false? False. False. About when we should use. So what does that mean? Which of the following is false? About when we should use. So that means that every other option must be true. Or what do you think?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So let's ask the question. The first question: when we have a class library in VB.NET or C# and we want to call that method, should we, or is that when we use invoke method?
Yeah, we use invoke. We use invoke method too.
Okay,
you will do
okay,
it this time.
Okay, we use, okay. So let me put true. When we want to use a method which does not generate an output and therefore cannot be used in an assigned activity, do we use invoke method in that instance, in that case?
It doesn't have a output, so there's no value to invoke. It's not true.
So it's not. This is not true, Abu. Okay, so let me go to. It's only Mr. Babs. When the logic is complex and would take several minutes to perform an action that could be completed in a single invoke method activity.
Yeah, it's true. We can call other other methods from other places to.
Okay, so we're still moving. What are we even looking for? Okay, when we want to use a method which generates several pieces of output. When we want to use a method which generates several pieces of output, for example, try parse, which generates a boolean and an integer. Several values cannot be assigned using an assigned activity. Any sense in this?
I think so, sir.
Okay, that's Joe. Supported by.
Okay, it's true, sir. True. Yes, sir.
This one is also true. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So this is true. This is true. This is true about using invoke method. And do we all agree with Mr. Babs and Mr. Joe? Mr. Sylvester. Mr. Theophilus still here? Phil Esu Abom. Okeje Amarachi. John Nawe, I think, okay, John Nawe has been talking now. Sean, you are here. This is the time to talk. Oh. Me and Sean. Where is Sean now? Okay, Sean, yeah, this is Sean. Emmanuel, you are also here now. We have a lot of big guns in this place. I'm not disturbing myself. Why? Why are you doing that? Why are you treating me that way? Sylvester. Ademola Lawal. Yeah, sorry, I didn't see you. Okay, so now the question again, which of the following is false? by what has been narrated here, it looks like by what Joe and Babs they have presented, so it looks like the pointer is coming on this, but I want us to when we want to use a method which does not generate an output and therefore cannot use. Is this one true or false? Okay, so nobody is and all right, go ahead. The person that wants to, is that Demola? Yeah, you can go ahead.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, let's hear from you, maybe to give us direction.
This question is is a tough one. So I'm not even sure what the answer is.
It is tricky and trickish.
Yes, but I think I will go for peace.
Okay, is that Ademola?
Yes.
Okay, so you will go for B too.
Yes.
Okay, who else? All right then. So which of the following is false about when we should use the invoke method? In fact, to be honest with you, if I can quickly run into picking an answer, and then I will simply, you know what I will pick? I will simply pick the first one, and I will tell you why. By virtue of omitting false, you will notice that I kept emphasizing false first. All right, I may just misinterpret. My eyes may just skip off this, and my mind may be set on maybe they are trying to talk about when invoke method should be used, and then of course immediately I see VB.NET and C#, I'll just pick it without blinking. I'll tell you possibilities. I may not even patient to read through. I'll just feel like, no, this is just too short to be the answer. All right. Okay, but now the thing is this: which of the following is false? All right. So I'm still looking at this. It's debatable. This one. Oh. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Can you call a method that doesn't have any value? Is it useful? Is a method that doesn't have a value, is it useful? Because he said when we want to use a method which does not generate an output, it doesn't generate any output, doesn't have any output. So and therefore can be used in an assigned activity. Okay. But if you call it what it doesn't have a value.
It doesn't generate an output and therefore
Yeah.
cannot be used in an assigned activity.
There's no value, it doesn't have a value. So if you are calling it, it will not bring up a value. So it's not useful.
Okay. Your invoke code, yes, it's not useful. It's
You are
okay.
invoking,
You said.
what you are invoking, you are passing a value from one activity, from one what's the name, uh, workflow to another. So if you are invoking a method that doesn't have a value, then it's not useful in that where you are invoking it, where you are sending it to, or where you are receiving it. It's not useful because it's not doing anything. So that's why I believe it is B. That's my own view, sir.
Sincerely speaking, I'm hoping. Please don't. The fact that I'm sharing screen, don't just. I'm sincerely open. I think I have challenged us that we can always we can, even if except UiPath, it's only UiPath that can say that is the answer that is perfectly correct. Okay, but if we know what we are talking about, of course we can argue it out. So, okay, this is what works. This is what work. All right. So, sincerely speaking, on this item, I'm very open, and I kept looking at it too. All right. So, now, while the reason why I'm pausing is agreement with the system that sets or that generated this question, these questions, and provided answer, and so checking it, and also checking it versus the what really obtains. So, since nobody is talking, I want to assume that they are taking it as that B is the right answer. Nobody is saying anything, and I'm not also saying anything. That is the worst part. So we are. I will leave it at no. I'm not. It's not. What I'm simply saying that maybe you are not getting me. I know you are with me. Yes. I'm also saying that I'm looking at the item. I'm looking at what exactly. Reason why I'm pausing like that is because the Udemy picked C, and I'm trying to look at it versus the question too. Okay, so but the fact that C was considered it's not the basis for that choice. So there must be a logical um, explanation to whatever you are picking or arriving at. So, well, Well, I want to skip. I want to step over. This question 18, what's it about? Okay, how can you figure out whether a method for invoking is static or an instance method? How can how can you figure out whether a method for invoking is static or an instance? Something dropped in my mind now, that makes me laugh internally. It's not about it's not anything serious. I remember I told you that I don't want to share this material in class for violation of copyright reasons and all of that. So just what came to my mind now is that, now what if you screenshot all these things and you save it as what's it called now, as a image, and then you do the RPA thing on it? Once you have the digital, your what's it called now? Once you get everything out, this is not going to help. It can even disrupt many things. Okay. All right. So to figure out a method for invoking static or an instance method, I have the option of try and error, plug and chug, MSDN website. The method changes based on the circumstances of the activity being used.
Can we see the person?
This does not look like a friendly one. Okay, sorry, I've reduced it again. I wanted you to. Okay.
I'll say B or D, sir.
B or D. B or D. Plug and shug. Then D. Mr. Theophilus, we are not enjoying you because of you. You're on transit. Your B and D, I'm not sure. I had B. Okay. Is it one? Is it 2 or 4? Let's use that. At least the sounds are distinct. Is it 2 or 4? 2 for B, D for. Huh? Who had?
I go with number 3.
Okay, number 3. Okay, C. Oh, okay. All right. What's the MSDN website? There's no way you would have. Amarachi, are you here? Okay, yes. Thank you, Mr. Balabla.
I'm going for the last one, D.
What do we have there now? Let me check it out. The method changes based on the circumstances of the activity being used. So we have got, I think Joe mentioned B, Theo, MSD, C, that's then Babs, D.
The reason for my choosing that is because on the invoke property, that's when you know whether it is static or it is instant. That is, if it's static or non-static. So if it is non-static, you have system dot. If it's static, I mean, you have the type will now be, that's invoke type will be system dot static. It has a kind of you assign as static. But if it is not, if it's not static, it's just, you can just leave it like that. So it depends on, it changes depending on the way the activity uses it.
Okay, that seems clear. Okay, can we other inputs? Okay, this aspect, I hope we'll look at it tomorrow. I'll note it. Okay. So according to Mr. Babs, the method changes based on circumstances of the activity. It could be it could be static or an instance method based on circumstances in view. And question, how can you figure out whether a method for invoking is static or an instance method? All right, let me give you the answer that Udemy supplied. The answer they supplied is MSDN website. MSDN website. This you can find out what MSDN website is and what it's about. this is a okay. All right. Impute. This borders on impute methods. Taking a break from invoke activity, invoke method. I mean, which impute methods can be used? Or maybe someone should read this. Somebody that has not talked. Fatai, if you are still there, can you please read this? I know you have probably been talking since morning. Please, we need, don't worry, it won't be till the end. We'll look for another person. Okay, Fatah is no more there. I think also it's ruining somewhere here. What else now? Who else? Apata Peter. Apata Peter. I'm not going to call those that I've been talking of. Emmanuel Felix, you are here.
Okay, sir.
Good, thank you.
Hello,
okay, so read this, question 19.
Okay, sir. It says, which method can be used to type into a field that is in a window that is hidden or minimized?
Okay.
Should I read again?
Yeah, I think I have heard you. And option A, simulate type. Option next, simulate type and send Windows messages. Third, send Windows messages. Fourth, simulate type and send Windows messages and add where driver default.
So I'm sure of send Windows messages, sir.
Okay. Who else is sure?
And work in the back.
Is B.
I think he's talking about what can work at the background.
Yes, sir.
Yes, now is B. Both simulate and send Windows message.
Yes, sir. The two, I guess they will work, but simulate is not really reliable. So that's why.
Well, they are not really bothered about whether it's, but they are just simply talking about which one will work, the background. Definitely default will not.
Yes.
The answer is B.
So we will go for B. Simulate type and send Windows messages. Okay, so you are working on a project in TFS.
So there is number 19 with.
Okay, yeah.
Question 19.
Okay, sorry. Yes, B, I think. Oh, sorry. I didn't. Sorry, any other views, please? Any other views? Shewojo?
No, sir. Simulate type and send Windows messages.
All right. Okay. Mr. Sylvester, you wanted to say something?
Oh, I thought maybe there is another number. Maybe you skipped a number. That was why I was saying question 19. Seems you skipped it. But now for 19.
Okay. Thank you so much. 20. If you are working on a project in TFS with other developers and you want to make sure you have the latest version from the server on your computer, what TFS command do you use?
Cool, sir.
Not in JIT, oh. This is TFS. Just to call your attention to. Yes, in JIT, of course. Yes. So is it also pull in TFS? The process, what I wanted to do.
I think it's pull.
Yeah, for TFS, where do we have it now? Team. There should be a drop. Okay. I should have. I should go to my login through my TFS first, please. But it's not pool. It doesn't use pool as it does in JIT. And that's what I want to bring out. It uses get the latest version. That's what it uses. I mean, let's call my account. It's no. Of this second. Okay, so but long and short is it actually uses get latest version in place of pool that JIT uses. Okay, this is a selector. What part of a selector is most indicative of a full selector? Please let me change my position. Yeah.
HTML app.
Okay. I think everybody will want to go for that, but then I don't know. Another person will have a different view. How does this go? How does this go with us? Yeah.
It's A, sir.
Okay, fine. Yes, it is. Question 22. The unique reference field in orchestrator can be set to yes or no to indicate whether the transaction reference should be treated as unique or not, true or false.
I think true, sir.
True, sir. I think.
Look at the question very well and be very sure. Okay.
I think
Is that
it's
still
true,
our
sir.
final? Oh, okay. Okay, because of what I said, so you wanted to look at it again.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so hello? Hello?
True, sir.
Yes, sir.
True.
True, sir. True, sir.
Okay.
True, sir.
All right. Okay. All right. $23. What is the main difference between okay, this one is a
I think it's either.
I still need to definitely questions will not come out this way. It will come out in another way.
Might be bonus.
Question 24. What happens if a workflow does not have the set transaction status configured?
Hey.
Okay, we got that from. Guess this should be. What's that LY doing? So, yeah, okay. Hey, after 24 hours, all the transactions are set to abandon. I think who mentioned that? Was it Julius?
It's Dami.
Okay, it was Dami. Okay. 25. Dami is not in class today. Okay, so of course it's already yeah, which activity can obtain unread emails with a specific subject line from a mail? You can check all this and check. Let me just go straight and check this one. Get Outlook mail messages. Check the properties. Let me see what is there.
I think it's D, sir.
Okay, let me check. D, that's this. Yes, you are correct. Very correct. It is. All right, so you can check properties when you push everything into Studio, into the Designer panel. Check the properties of all these activities. and check it also against get Outlook mail messages. So it has different options. You can check and uncheck. Part of which is to specify if you are to only fetching mails that have not been read. Okay, 27. Yeah, 27. To ensure the highest level of accuracy, how many elements should a selector be valid for at runtime?
Okay, yeah, 3.
Okay, have you checked as many as possible?
The maximum is 3. For
okay, more views.
Are they talking about anchors, sir?
Yeah. How many elements? Sure. Because anchor
Okay,
will
three, sir.
yeah. I didn't get that.
I said if they are talking about anchors, the maximum is 3, sir.
Look at the question. To ensure the highest level of accuracy, how many elements should a selector be valid for at runtime? So, what's our take?
Should be 1 now. Should be 1.
How many elements? So if you have picked the field, okay, Joe, you want to say something?
The question, I think, is a bit technical. So
if they had put use the language. Yeah, okay, you are, so we have come to that point now. Thank you. Okay, just give me about 3 seconds. Okay, 28. Says in the properties panel, what should the value of max number of results be set to in order to get all possible results?
Question.
Hello, your answer to the previous question, though.
So it looks. I'm looking at in the properties panel. What should the value of number of results be set to in order to get all possible results? It doesn't look like a standalone question. What do you think?
Yes, sir. It doesn't look like a standalone question. As if
okay.
There are other question on that.
You say what?
It seems as if it's not complete.
Yes, it's hinged on maybe the previous question, so it looks. And what do we have in the? This one is talking about selector. Okay. So in the properties panel, as what should be the maximum number of results to be set to in order to get all possible results?
Star. That is star.
Asterisk, Caesar.
Asterisk
Okay,
star.
so let's check it. Let's check it. Um, um, let's uh, let's say open browser. URL Google. So after opening Google, what's the next thing? What's it's about selector now. It's about selector. Selector. Type into. Let me use. Um, let me try this. Wanting to do under limit. I want to actually see that. I want this. Am I on page? Find this time into. What's going on here? Sorry, small. This should not drag us. What is it looking for? Let me take this out. Still running. Running google.com. It's in there, Shella. To open google.com. It's okay. We won't wait for you. But I think the idea to ensure the highest level of accuracy. Okay, we've done that. In the properties panel, what should be the value of max number of results to be set in order to get all possible results? We have 0, blank, asterisk, and asterisk. Some persons picked asterisk because it will help to. Okay, Internet Explorer. Okay. That we have to cover for one or more characters. Question mark with one single character. Okay. So are we all agreeing with asterisk? And why? Because Udemy is saying that it's 0. In the properties panel, and I believe it should be for the previous question. What should be the value of max number of results? Be set to in order to get all possible results. Okay, value of max number of results. Okay. Let me check. Amarachi people don't come here.
Hey.
Yeah. Okay. I think they have repented. Okay. I want to let me try. What was this now?
I think we should use screen script.
You should use what?
Screen script. So we can set the max number of values.
What is this? Okay, sorry. Where is this feature? Where is it? Where is it located now? Maximum number of maximum number of retries. Check. Understand. What's this question talking about? In the properties panel, what should the value of maximum number of results? This looks like a variable we set to in order to get all possible results. Well, actually, it's this should have settled it. Selector. Just edit this place, put asterisk, so it's is that not what they're talking about? All right, so if we undo this name, it means that if we undo it with asterisk, this will help to cater for it being able to capture or being able to identify different elements, not only the one that is being identified with this number. The question, maximum number of results to get all possible results.
That maximum number of results, I think, is under properties, because in the property panel, what should be set? So I think it's in the data scraping under CSV or so. Using CSV activities, that's where you get that maximum number of results.
Okay. Sorry, I was distracted. Yeah, you said
the maximum number of results is usually in the property panel of CSV activity.
So that means the question Is it that means it's not talking about the previous?
So it's talking about data scraping. Yes, it's talking about data scraping.
Not responding.
Hello, that is it, sir. That is it. The maximum number of results. 0 for.
Okay. Sorry. Distractions. What? There is no Control Z for data scraping. It's what are we waiting for? Okay. Oh, yes. Maximum. Can I go back? Okay, all right. Let me just save it. Yeah, it's data spanning multiple pages. Identify the what's it called now? Identify the element that navigates to the next pages. It could be a next button or an arrow, not a page number. Press yes to indicate it. Uh, Let me just read this. Because I selected yes. Okay, let me check. No, sorry. Okay. Expecting object to be local. Sorry. I think I've okay to create pattern. So let me start again. Is there any pattern in this place? F2, go back. So we are going to impute a value there. Try. I want to believe it can only take in integer. Maximum number of results 0 for all. So this is what it's talking about. This 0. Okay, let me go back to the question. Thank you, Mr. Babs. In the value of number of results to be set to in order to get all possible results. All right, so this is what it's looking for. This, I mean, 0 for all. So it's not addressing. It's disconnected from this. It's not about this. It's not about the previous question like we initially thought. All right, so back to studio. So maximum number of results. This. All right, I can cancel it now. Okay, so what else? Question 29. All right, which of the following, or can someone help to read this, please? Maybe someone should read this until we are done. Should help in reading. Which of the following, please? Not Mr. Babalola, not Joe, not Theophilus, not someone else. Not Sylvester. We have Miss Viviano. Okay. Someone wants to try? Thank you.
Which of the following is a true statement about the config and the assets tab of the config.xlsx file that is referenced when using the RE framework? A. Setting tab contains only hard-coded values. Asset tab contains only credentials assets. See, neither the asset tab or the settings tab contains credentials asset. The credentials asset can only be stored in orchestrator.
All right, thank you so much. All right, you know there is something I'm picking from the way you read it. You have a studio voice. That's number one. It's unique. I'm not flattering. A
Thank you,
serious
sir.
studio voice. It was just going in as though you arrange everything. You arrange your words. Everything was just going on. All right. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Now, yes, so which are following? Like it's been mentioned. So which one are we going for? Maybe as for I'll be talking like let me be sure she's not here. And to get you people acclimatized to to speaking and interacting with Americans. You get what I'm saying? John, now you will be the first to laugh, I'm so sure. Okay, let's go. All right, question 29. So which one following is a true statement about the config file and the asset tab? The assets, the assets, referring to the third sheet. We have settings, constant asset, just in that arrangement. So which one following is a true statement about the config and the asset tab of the config.xlxs file that is referenced when using the RE framework? Okay, let's negate some things. Let's remove the ones that are not, maybe they don't look it. Settings tab contains only hard-coded values. Is it true?
That's the answer I'm looking at.
What's up? After this class, I would like to find out some things from you. I don't want to make it public. Talk like a rugged guy. Asset. All right. Then, okay. He said this is true. Asset tab contains only credential assets. Asset tab contains only credential. Can someone help us with that? Is it true or false? I mean, that's what I'm talking about. We don't need to waste time. We should just go for our West view. Okay, so settings tab contains only hard-coded values. This one is not true, that it is assets, that is the only credential asset that is contained in asset tab. Then that it is neither asset tab or settings tab that contains, that neither the asset tab or settings tab contains. Of course, this one has to come in here, come into the asset tab. It's part of what should come in there. And then credential asset can only be stored in orchestrator. This one is not also true. So this one has it. The first one, settings tab contains only hard-coded values. Thank you, Mr. Howell. Thank you. What is the initial value of transaction number in Harry framework? What's the initial value? of transaction number in RE framework? That's question 30. The initial value
is 0. None.
Okay, someone has said 0. Someone has said none. I think the same person. Okay, what's the initial value? Just one more view. Just one more person. John away. Just giving that your style. Okay, someone has said 0. We have 0, we have none, we have blank. Oh, this is serious.
0.
Sometimes you will think that all of these things are the same. They are not the same. Blank is different from none, is different from 0. All right. Okay, you also said 0. Okay. Okay. Transaction item in RE framework. I think we should be able to pick it. Transaction item in RE framework. Transaction item should be what's it? Transaction number should be in okay. So before we go there, you have done the needful. Transaction item should be where now? In this? Oh, sorry, I should have asked. But then I think in this, I suppose. Am I correct? Please help me out.
Yes, sir.
Don't assume more. Don't assume it's like you assume many things. We are here together. Okay, so let me put this as 75. Okay, let me check the variables. Transaction. Yeah, this is it. Yeah. Transaction number and integer scope under general business. It's by default set to 1. You can check others like in case it will not go in this way. But transaction item, which is a variable that is needed in get transaction. Yes.
I guess I was confusing for retry.
Okay, no, retry is 0. Okay. Retry is 0. And I know that question sometimes also can come in that the variable, the config, which is a variable in the framework, in our framework, is set. What kind of variable type is it? And they will put all manners of distractions there. All right, of course, it picks it with as a dictionary, the key and the value. Okay, so I think yeah, one. What else do we have here? 31. What is the initial value for the try? Oh, that one has been answered. 0. 31. Yes, thank you so much. 32 now. Okay, something similar. Is it the same? All right, what value in the config XLSS file must the max retry number be set to in order to use orchestrator queues? What value in the config file? This should be in the settings. Is it the settings on constant sheet? Let's check it. Where is it? This place. Oh.
So I think it's the same thing. No, I think it's still 0.
Okay. And let's go there. Yeah. It's in the constant sheet. Value 0, maximum retry number. All right. So correct. You are correct. Mr. Bablu.
Hello, sir.
Yep.
Hello. Sir, the other time we talked about the assets, the hard-coded stuff in assets. Can you please show us where it is?
The question.
In the asset, that Excel that you opened, the config.
Okay. What's the question? The question that was asked, I think it was on settings. Let me check.
On assets.
You have not gone too far from it. This, yeah, that which of the following is a true statement about the config and the asset tab of the config. This is the file. This is variable that is referenced when using the RE framework. So here is where you impute the settings sheet or values. There is it now. And of course, it will be lodged in as a dictionary object where you have the key, the value, like that. Okay, so okay, sorry, I want to go to this this config, this variable itself. Okay, which is a dictionary object. This is what takes in. It is this variable that takes in the that takes in the values that you are going to impute, that are going to put in your Excel, and it's going to read it as a dictionary object. And the reason, I think it was this, yes, this one, that the settings tab contains only hard-coded values. Only the values that that will be used, like using the language of this guy, the man, Matthew. The values that will be the values that will be used in the orchestrator, we push that into the settings tab. Okay, so that should handle this. That should handle the choice of this option. Now you mentioned assets tab. Sylvester.
No. I just want to. The thing is that I want to know what hard coded value is. That is the reason why. Yes, I want to see how it's been displayed.
It borders on this. This is settings. Like this is the name. Let's take it that this is name of a queue, orchestrator queue. Of course, it can be anything. This is simply the name, and then here this is where the value will be pushed. This is optional, the description, and you remember that in orchestrator 2 there is provision for you to provide description, or if you don't want to put the description there. So now, instead of let's say imputing all these one by one, in a very tedious, which can be a tedious thing. If you have everything in your config file, that's the configuration file. So your orchestrator pulls the required data from here, reads it, and then starts running based on whatever has been pushed into this. I think, was it this? Okay, what value in the config file must? Okay, this one, it says 0, I suppose. Okay, 33.
We'll start from here tomorrow.
Okay, are you the timekeeper? It's just 1 minute after. I actually understand that you have been working since morning, and our sugar level at all hands, even myself, has been down. So they need to reintroduce sugar into the system. Okay, what does this say? Since I'm already there, I don't know. What does this say? To protect sensitive information that is logged during execution of your automation. At the verbose level, okay, you can choose not to log variable and argument values in both orchestration. Okay, I think Mr. Julius mentioned this the other time.
The answer is C. Abi? The answer is C.
John is asking us.
Yeah?
No, I'm pushing it to the class. I said you are asking us, so you are asking. Yes, you are asking us.
I said the answer is C.
Okay, so any view? Any other view? Or did you pick that option so that we can quickly get away from here?
No, sir. Okay.
I'm still expecting.
Yeah.
Okay, nobody say anything. It aligns with what has been raised. Yeah, at verbose level, select the private property checkbox in properties panel for activities that contain sensitive information. That's the action that must be performed in order to keep information secure. Okay, so it is on that note. Yes, you see. So it's on that note, we're going to call it a day. So I wish us a restful night. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Families.
Good night, sir.
Good night, sir.
Thank you so much.
Good night.
God bless
Thank
you.
you.
Nice.